Yo, what up, my name is Derek, and today I'm going to show you guys the best Fortnite settings for Chapter 2, Season 8. Now, the first thing I want to do while we're outside of the game is go to our Epic Games launcher and go to the toggle settings menu that's in Epic Games. On Fortnite, go to Options, and then just disable high-res textures. You don't need this installed in your computer. You can also do it when you install the game. Just go to Options when you install the game, and then untick that, and you can, instead of downloading 4 gigabytes, you're only downloading around 20 gigabytes. Okay. The next thing is we're going to go to Windows key and R on our keyboard, and it's going to come up with this little thing right here. We're going to type in percent local app data percent, press on OK. This menu will pop up. We're going to scroll down to Fortnite game. We're going to click on that, go to saved, go to config, go to Windows client, and then inside of here, we're going to right click and press on edit. Now, you might have seen this. This is pretty old. It's like a 2-year-old tweak that's happened when this chapter came out. But you see this display gamma right here. This is set currently to 2.2, which is the new chapter 2, I think, that they did this. We're going to set this number to 1. I recommend doing this. So change this to 0, and then change this to a 1. And then press save, file save. You don't have to go in here and go read only. You don't have to do that. It will save automatically when you open the game. So I'm going to open my game, and I'll be right back. Now, once we're in Fortnite, we're going to go to our settings here. And on this main bar, we want to make sure our window mode is set to full screen. Make sure this isn't full screen windowed or windowed. Then for resolution, make sure it's 1080p or whatever resolution your main monitor is. If you use 1440p, just set on 1440p. For frame rate limit, so this is where it gets a little complicated. I mean, it's not that complicated, but if you play on 60 hertz, it's recommended to set your FPS to double that, so 120 or 144, or just keep it unlimited. What this will do is it will make sure there's no input lag, because if you have um, 60 hertz and you play at 60 FPS, like lock it, your hertz or you'll notice input lag and you'll notice lag and stuttering. It won't be very good. If you make it like 144 though or 120, you won't notice. You'll have better input lag and you won't notice any performance any issues at all. Now yes, you're still playing on 60 hertz, but keep in mind that that's people say lock your FPS at 60 or whatever. Just don't listen to them. Lock it at 144. You play on 144 hertz monitor, you can lock it at 144. I play 144 hertz. I lock mine at 160. The reason I do that is because I feel like if you have 160 FPS and it's stable at 160, and then it like dips down below 160, it doesn't dip down. Like if you're at 144, it doesn't dip below 144, and you can notice the the the, the difference in FPS or hertz, I would say, when you're playing your game, and then so on and so forth. Lock your FPS at whatever resolution you have or whatever hertz you have on your monitor. So if you have 240 or 360, do whatever. For brightness, since this is the display gamma, it's just going to go to 50%. No need to change it. For contrast, keep that at 1 unless you want to change it. Colorblind mode is off unless you want to change it. You can change this if you want. I just keep it at 0 because it looks better than any other one. In the past, there used to be ones like these other ones you could use, but for now, we're going to keep it at 0. For the quality presets, we're going to set this to low, and then we're going to go to around 81 or 82% in terms of 3D resolution. For view distance, it's recommended at like far, or you can use medium if you want. You could even go to epic. There's not a big difference in the change of that, so you can use whatever you want. So I usually play in near, but I'm going to try far for a little bit, and I think far is the best. People have told me. So everything else should be off here or low. And then for down high res texture, turn that off. And then high res texture reminder, turn that off as well. For the effects, turn that off. Post processing off. Now, keep in mind if you do enable performance mode, you won't have those settings. We're going to enable it right now. I just didn't have it enabled, so I can show you guys that those settings are off. Because there's one other setting I got to show you guys. Because when you have performance mode on, you can't actually change some of these settings. So, for instance, you want to make sure show FPS is on. You want to make sure that if you want to test latency, you can. You can turn on latency markers. I'm not going to do that. NVIDIA Reflex, turn that on plus boost, and then you can press on apply and then restart your computer or restart your game, I should say. We're not going to do that right now. Next is settings. Now, this is recommended to choose whatever server you're already connected or you're going to be connecting to. So whatever has the lowest ping. So if it's any east, any west. So if you live on the east coast, you probably want to connect to east. If you live on the west coast, you want to connect to west. Now, if you're trying to do a tournament and it's not a like if you're trying to do a tournament and it's at a different time and you're not be able to play your regional one, you can always switch it and do whatever. But it's recommended to just stay on the server that you actually are going to be playing on. For toggle sprint, turn this off. Sprint by default on. Cancel sprint reloading is a kind of a personal preference type thing. Um, you can turn that on if you want. I keep it off. Auto open doors is also personal preference. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. I do it just so I can get into a house or a room faster. Hold the swap, I keep it on. You don't have to have that on. Like I said, this is a lot of this stuff is personal preferences. But hold the swap is pretty nice if you want to hold it instead of picking up a ton of million things. You know, they also did this prefer item slot, so it makes it a little bit easier. But sometimes you still want to swap weapon because it doesn't swap. Toggle targeting, turn that off. Mark danger when targeting. You can do all that stuff. Auto pick up weapons. Um, you could turn this on if you want to. I know it's really good when you're trying to like fight somebody like off spawn and you need to pick up a weapon before they do or whatever. Then yes, it's faster. Preferred item slot. So this is what mine is right now. So I have AR, shotgun, SMG, and then sniper. I did have SMG here and sniper last season, but since snipers have kind of been terrible this year, there's really no point even having a sniper thing here. And then consumable I have on my left or my final one. You can change whatever it is too. Um, for the next thing, auto sort consumables to right. Turn that on. I mean, if you have it in configure, you don't need to change anything. Reset building choice, turn this on. Disable pre-edit edit option on. Turbo building on. Confirm edit on release can be on if you want to. I know pros sometimes turn this off and try it without. I've been just so used to having it on, I'm just going to turn it on. Click tips off, and then everything else is pretty much off except record replays. You probably want to turn this off if you want. You can get better performance if you have this off, but it's kind of up to you. Probably want to take these other ones off though. You don't want like if you play Team Rumble or if you play a lot of creative, you probably don't want replays playing. Just maybe for regular games, so you can see how you died, or you can do VOD reviews or whatever. HUD, this is kind of just personal preference. I use 90%, and you can change which things show up here. I just have a spectator count off because I don't want to see that. And then latency debug is just that latency marker, like I said in the other part. For mouse settings, if you use Wooting, you need to make sure you use lock input method as mouse. If you use Wooting or I think it's keys to input, you can use that. This is for controller. I'm not going to worry about that. For sound, I just play at these settings. I don't play at 100% call or sound because my game is really loud. For sound quality, keep that on high if you want. 3D settings. Um, I'm pretty sure this doesn't really do that much of a difference. I keep this off. I don't really notice a difference when I turn it on. Background sound, you can have this play when your game is in the background. So like if you're tabbed out, it'll still make noise. Um, and yeah, the rest, voice chat and stuff like that, can be turned on if you want it on. For the key event, so this is all just personal preference type stuff. I'm not going to really talk about my settings, but I will show you guys the built-in reset. So building edit right here, I have mouse wheel up, and then reset is up as well. So what this will do is that it's pretty much scroll wheel edit. That's what it is. It's a scroll wheel reset. That's what that is. So just have building edit to the second one as mouse up, and then reset building as up as well. And then the rest of these settings that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys liked the video. Let me know if I missed anything. Let me know if there's more settings that you want to see. If you guys want, I can make for other games as well. And that's pretty much it. Hope you guys liked the video, and peace out.